Hi and welcome to Story, a platform specially curated to showcase growth of a business or organization and celebrate diverse voices. We bring you authentic, unedited journey of the vision, aspiration, and purpose, and how it is transforming its path for growth ahead through its leaders leading the show. In our growth story today, we have with us Mr. Vineet Sahni, CEO and Director at Fiem Industries Limited, a reputed name in the automotive industry in terms of now with an state-of-art R&D centers in India, Japan, and Italy. Vineet is widely recognized as a thoughtful leader in the industry. Hi, Vineet. Thanks for joining us at VYAPT Growth Story.
Yeah, hi Pankaj. Hi.
Uh, Hi. Vineet, do have few curiosities, to start with. But first of all, congratulations on taking up a new role and a very challenging one and a very special one. My first curiosity is, can you share the growth story of Fiem Industries Limited?
Yeah, sure, Pankaj. Before I answer your question, thank you for this invite and always happy to connect with VYAPT. VYAPT is doing a good job and really enjoy connecting with all of you. So thank you. So coming to FIAM industry, see, this particular industry is a first generation entrepreneur result, and that is very important to understand. In a small way, promoter Mr. J.K. Jain started this in 1970, very early. And in 1989, FIAM industry was born. So for around 19 years, it worked like a small company, promoter driven. And then 1989, it got born. And finally, it got listed also. Today, it is a listed company. Primarily, this organization and the promoter focused on the two-wheeler business in India, because India has been a growing market of two-wheeler. And Fiam led the way, is a leader in the two-wheeler lighting industry. They also make mirrors and other products like bank angle sensors, canisters, all other products, but all focused towards two-wheelers. So the growth has been quite good on a CAGR of around 17-18%, because two-wheeler industry in India has also been growing in the past. So there has been a phenomenal growth and in-depth penetration in most of the customers, in fact, almost all customers of two-wheeler, including Japanese and Indian customer, both sides. To cater to customer, of course, there has been offices in Japan and Italy, because you need the technology in. So just to grow along with the customer. So this has been the growth story of Fiam in the past.
That's really exciting to know about the Fiem Industries Limited. But can you also talk around the challenges of the industry in India? I'm sure with opportunities, what you're talking about, I'm sure there would be a lot of challenges as you take the industry for the next level of growth.
Yeah, so I'm sure whosoever is connected would appreciate what I'm going to talk now. See, India industry, of late has become. Let's take 2-3 things like quality. On quality, India industry is becoming equivalent to the global level, and this journey has been done quickly in last 5 years. And kudos to almost all players who exist in this industry. A great job done. And however, Indian market is very competitive. This kind of consumer, at least I have not seen anywhere in the world. I mean, we as Indians, because we are also consumers, we are very discerning consumers. We want value for money, and we always go into detail. And if we pay, let's say, 1 rupee, what are we getting in return? So this discerning consumer that we are in, that makes this industry very challenging. And for example, we as consumer want the latest technology. So one of the challenge of this industry is to keep track what's happening in technology and to be proactive in getting that technology to the country for the consumer. Second, we as consumer want all the features and technology at minimum price, which means we need to control the entire operation of business in a very efficient manner. And hence we need all the best of the production system, lean production system, managing the organization in the right way. That's another challenge for every organization. One cannot survive in India if you are not efficient to run the business. That's the second important challenge. And third,
True.
Indian consumers and Indian customers, they want stability and reliability, which means a right management in the business organization. That's the third challenge on any
True.
organization, to put the right structure in place to support the customer 24 by 7 and generate that reliability and the trust factor in this business. So these are the three challenges that broadly in this automotive component business and this industry.
So you talked about some of the challenges of the industry. Uh, I have a question, which one of our viewers is asking. So I will just put it, post to you. Is the question is, post taking over the CEO of Fiem Industries, in which function or areas do you think able to add maximum value? I'm sure it's going to be all, considering the fact that you come with a great and a huge amount of experience. And what would be some of your top priorities? Since it has come from one of our viewers, let me ask you, right away.
Yeah, so that's a very interesting question. And off the screen also, I get those questions for sure. Pankaj, this is quite challenging, and I am going to fill the gap of FIAM Industries for sure. I am very positive that I am going to do that. See, there are certain missing pieces in this business, and those missing pieces are four-wheeler business, for example. So it's a leader in two-wheeler, but the four-wheeler business has to be brought in to make this a complete picture. And I'm going to focus on that for sure, right? It's a difficult job, challenging job, but I am sure we are going to achieve it. So we need to organize ourselves and move in the right way.
True.
Second is we need to get the right technology in, because for four-wheeler customer, you need to have a right, either a technology partner or self-reliance on a technology which is required for four-wheeler business. So that's the second challenge that we have to bring in. And third is the manufacturing practices. They are different between two-wheeler and four-wheeler. For example, two-wheeler will always remain a high volume game. Four-wheeler will not be so high volume in India. However, the requirements are very different. So what I want to tell you is that on all the buckets of business, for example, engineering, marketing, manufacturing, technology, all the buckets have to move at a particular speed to penetrate into four-wheeler segment. And this I am going to do. That's important, right? And for doing that, you need to build the right org structure, because
True.
I can't do it alone. Nobody can. And as a leader, I need to bring in right people who are passionate to take these challenges, to create something new, and to deliver not only for the organization, but to get that sense of achievement themselves. So building the right team, and I'm sure some viewers there would be interested. If anybody is so passionate, I'm okay to connect and build the right team in here who delivers results.
That's so openly said from you, that you are looking at people, those who can share the passion and share the aspiration of a company to take the organization forward. My next curiosity is around the way you help your customers. So how are we helping, or how is PM helping their customers to achieve their growth aspirations?
Right. So I think if we go to the basics of business, Pankaj, Q and D today is a hygiene, quality and delivery. No customer wants to be disturbed on quality and delivery. So that's a first task that any industry in auto component has to ensure. And today it is hygiene. We have to ensure Q and D to our customer. That's point number one. Second differentiation that I bring in is availability to the customer 24 by 7. Because customers want online answers. They want, even at night 11 o'clock, if there is a problem, they want top management or senior management to be available to hear them out and to act if required, because they are also under delivery pressure. So we have to ensure as an organization that customer feels connected to us, and that is the key. Because once they are connected and once we are able to solve their issues, the trust process is built up layer by layer, because trust is not built in a day. It's built layer by layer over days, over months, and then years, right? So that is one thing. Third is on the growth of customer. Customer wants new proposals, new technologies, new products to make differentiation into their market. And there comes our acumen of being proactive in engineering, marketing, so that we are able to offer solutions and the new technology and the new product to our customer to make them grow. And this is what I call a very healthy symbiotic relationship, a virtuous cycle where we help each other to grow. And that is the philosophy that is to be followed.
Okay. You talked about that, how you are helping the customers to achieve their growth aspirations, and it has been very phenomenal in terms of keeping the kind of and knowing the kind of legacy Fiem has in terms of serving its customers for the past many decades. Uh, there's a question which is coming from one of our viewers: is how is Fiem placing itself under your leadership? I'm sure there are so many questions, Vineet. I don't know whether I'll be able to ask it within the short span of time, but I'm picking few questions which are relevant to the kind of featuring we are doing in Growth Story. So yeah, your take, please, Vineet.
So, Pankaj, this is a very good question, because EVs are taking shape now in India. Now, EVs segment, if we divide into certain categories, there are startups, right? There are medium scale players, and there are established players who are moving to EV. So let's divide them into three categories, because each of them have different issues to address, right? So Fiem today is present in almost all EV makers, all three buckets,
Okay.
all three buckets. However, we need to strategize what will happen to this market going forward. Consolidation is one part of story that can happen. Certain players will take off, certain players will not, because you must be aware that even the government subsidy came into question in the recent past, and few players qualified and few did not. So point is, how ethical is the game? That is also very important. And how EV makers are positioning themselves for the future growth. So we are building
Okay.
strategy there. Our complete intent is to be part of the EV growth story. That's a decision, right? And we are already present with all of them. However, we are now strategizing how to grow along with them, giving them different solutions and what further products we can offer to them so that they grow with us. So that is the idea.
That's really a wonderful answer from your side. I have one more question which is coming in after your answer from EV. I'm sure even Fiam has a lot of expectations, but the people who are your customers and colleagues, who are you're seeing who believe in the kind of leadership you have, also have a lot of expectations from. One question coming, before I go on the last question of this growth story, is I would like to probably share it with you. Is globally, four-wheeler lighting is heavily dominated by MNCs, and same is the case in India, with no stand-alone Indian company being that successful. Okay, so what is your confidence level in doing so?
Straight answer is 100%. Right. And
That
yeah, and I would like to also use your forum to thank people who are asking this question and who have this expectation, because they push me to perform. So
wonderful.
the expectation bring in that energy to perform, and I agree there that you need to have a model of a joint venture which is more successful in India.
Mhm.
I agree there that you have to be very contemporary in technology. You have to predict technology, what is coming in.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
the point is, it is not MNC or a Indian company. The point
True.
is the company able to satisfy what customer wants? Simple.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's that, right? Today,
Mhm.
when we say MNC JV model is successful, because that model is able to satisfy what customer wants, and that
Okay.
is why this model is successful. Right. So I'm still
Okay.
contemplating on various models, and it is not just one model. There will be a route to it.
Mhm.
There will be an entry plan to four-wheeler. There will be a route to it. Certain products can be done by us ourselves, being self-reliant in technology. Certain products, step by step, we go into a partnership model. Certain products you go through acquisition route also. So these
Mhm.
strategies are emerging, and some
Mhm.
will emerge, because as you are clearly giving message that you are determined to get into this business, people are there to support you. It's the customer who supports you when they see your intent, which is positive. It is the industry which supports you. It is the partner which supports you if you really want to do something from the heart and with passion. And I'm very clear that we are going to do it. So that's the confidence I have. We will definitely do that, and we will bring that change in the industry which the industry is expecting.
You have already answered, Vineet, one more question which came from Nitish. It was around automotive lighting industry is hugely dominated by some European players, but I strongly believe the decade of India in this space is already started. And he was just asking a question is, what is your take on supporting this ecosystem as a collaborative approach, and what support would you need in technology development space? I'm sure you have answered this question stating
Sure.
that collaborative approach is the need of the hour, and that's how the growth of the industry would take place. And you also talked about it's not about Indian or MNC player. It's always about the need based. If you are able to fulfill the need, the space is already there for you, and you are one of the players in that particular space. Uh, Vineet, any other aspect which you wanted to add in this particular part of it? Because we have so many questions coming up. But anything else apart from whatever you said you wanted to add in that particular space, primarily
Just
in the collaboration mode?
yeah, just one point, because this industry in four-wheeler, what's happening? Let's talk about lighting at this moment.
Yeah.
So lighting is now becoming a result of many technologies. For
Mm-hmm.
example, electronics is coming in a
Mm-hmm.
big way into lighting,
Mm-hmm.
right? It is plastics, it is aesthetics, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
mechanical, it is thermal, it is optical. So lot of technologies are getting merged
True.
into this product. That's point
Mm-hmm.
number one.
Mm-hmm.
Second, the vehicle on which this product goes, for example, the cars, lot of changes are happening in the car because they are becoming smart cars, or autonomous driving features are coming into that. So there is lot of communication that has to happen electronically between the product and the car, which I am
Mm-hmm.
talking as an application engineering.
Mm-hmm.
So this area will emerge as one of the desired requirement by the customer. It
Okay.
is not just that product, it is that application, the understanding of that application, which will
Mm-hmm.
make the difference in future. And that company which can offer this kind of comfort to customer, that we understand the whole ecosystem, will be a
Mhm.
preferred partner of future.
Okay. Uh, a pretty direct question coming from one of the viewers is, what is the aspiration of the organization?
Aspiration of the organization and mine is very clearly to become number one. I don't know when, but we will make a difference in the market. That's clear.
Okay, that's wonderful. I think the viewer's question has been answered, and I move on to the last question. If I have something interesting, I'll come back to on that. But what principles and values have influenced your leadership journey, and how it has shaped your personality? People have been talking about questions about that wherever you have been, you have made a difference. In whichever organization where you have served. Primarily in the last 3 4 5 years, wherever you have been working in the organization, we have seen some huge difference in time in terms of EBITDA and PAT which you have created for those organizations, and the kind of value you have added to the customers for that matter. Can you talk about what kind of principles have guided you along the way, and how is it has actually helped in shaping your personality?
So a little complex question, Pankaj, because a lot of parameters go into that, but I'll try to simplify it. I think first credit I will give to the team which works with passion. It is the people who make the difference in the organization and to the customer and globally. It is just the people. The emotional connect with your people. And if you can share the passion to do something different,
Mhm.
that principle makes the whole difference. And when I say people, it is not people in the organization, it is people within customer, it is the people with your partner, it is the people with your supplier, it is the people with your stakeholders. So
True.
when these people, when the frequency joins in, resonance happens, and that resonance delivers a result which is different than what others can do. That's one point, to search for that frequency at which resonance happens. That's the first point. Now, this is not visible on paper. This is something which you need to sense. That's point number one. Second point is to take calculated risks. Nothing
Mhm.
is chartered in business. Nobody can say this will happen. You have to take calculated risk and move with a leap of faith for future. That
Mhm.
is very important.
Mhm.
And third important point is to work with ethics and values.
Mhm.
Because once your decisions are fair, then people can predict your reactions to a situation. People, it is easy for people to take decisions because they know that there won't be unnecessary questioning because the values or the system is laid down.
Mhm.
And that being a principle of logic, principle of a fair approach, that's important.
Mhm.
Fourth point, and probably the last point, is always encourage people to take decision, because the state of indecision is very dangerous for business. A decision can go right or wrong. Wrong decision will help us to learn. Right decision will move us forward. Both are okay. But the
Mhm.
state of indecision leads to
Mhm.
paralysis of business. And this is what I personally promote for all of us, to take a decision so that either there is a movement forward or there is a learning so that we become better. So these are just the 4 points which I would like to share.
That's really something, deep knowledge which you have shared with us in terms of the kind of values and principles and leadership style which you follow. uh, this was the last curiosity which I had, but the one LinkedIn user have been probably asking the same question and again, and it would not be right if I don't take it up. So but this has to do with more about coming from what made you attracted to Fiem, especially coming from Stanley Lumax. And so what is that which has excited you to come to Fiem? This is something very specific question. You may like to answer, may not, may like to skip But what I feel is, for a leader at your level, it is the greater opportunity to contribute which matters. uh,
I agree. And honestly, some part I may not speak in public, to be very honest and straight, right? Because of certain decorums, and you can't. I would say it is situational,
mhm,
and as a leader, I there is always a situational leadership which people understand,
mhm,
and this particular organization needs the experience that I have,
mhm,
and maybe together
mhm,
a big difference can be created, which is
mhm,
most challenging in my
mhm,
career,
mhm,
can be delivered here.
mhm,
This is what I feel from the heart,
mhm,
and I want to take up that challenge now at this stage of career, to
mhm,
really bring that change and difference in the
mhm.
organization that actually needs me. So this is what it is.
Oh, wonderful. I think you have answered a beautiful question. Because wherever you have been, you have created that value, or the organizations have been really, really good. Be it the past organizations wherever you worked, or the organization which you're working now, and they all have contributed to the development in wherever industry is possible to their customers. And I'm sure they all will be delighted to have you somewhere in their organizations for that matter. So before we hand, so we have one more question coming up, and I'm going to take this last question. No more questions after this. What is the secret of your energy and passion? And what this guy believes, it's contagious. All yours now.
So he rightly believes, because those are the people who makes me, who give me energy. As you said, the expectation is high, and honestly, I am on high energy level always. Mostly, it's the people who make me that. But it's always good to work with this energy, because you enjoy doing what you're doing, right?
Hmm.
And as a leader, if you lack energy, trust me, people will not enjoy the working.
Hmm.
Things may go up and down, but as a leader, you have to be contagious on energy and passion, because that makes the team and that makes the work interesting for everybody. So I would like to thank people who, I mean, person who asked this question, and so many others who bring that positive energy, and it's just that which keeps me going. So thanks to everyone there.
Thank you so much, Vineet. We also have one more question, but I would not like to take it up. Just to tell you, one of the LinkedIn user is talking about, can you share, if possible, the learnings and experience from turning around Minda lighting unit? I'm sure, this is something which I've done in the past. If you want to take it up, you can, or we can skip. If
I think Pankaj, you need to organize another, such session for this. But I can tell you, whether it is Minda, Lumax, Fiem, people have made the difference always. The risk taking ability has made the difference, and I can just share one example. We got one business from a very prestigious customer
Mhm,
for a product which Minda never had the technology at that point of time. We did not have a plant at that point of time,
mhm,
right? But the customer trusted me as a leader and my team,
okay.
right? And then after we got the order, we created the product and the technology, the team, and that's how we grew at that point of time. That
Mhm,
was a big learning for me also, that it
mhm,
is the people who make the difference, and the
mhm,
sincerity and the passion with which you approach the customer.
mhm,
Customer acknowledges that,
mhm,
recognizes that.
mhm,
Because if it is half-hearted, I would
mhm,
say even if it is 99%,
mhm,
customer recognizes that it is not 100%. So
mhm.
we all have to really believe in what we are doing, and 100% that is recognized not only by the customer, but people, stakeholders around you, and you start getting that support to meet your objective.
That's again something which is a very authentic answer coming from an authentic leader. Thank you so much, Vineet, for being a part of this VYAPT growth story. And your passion is seen while you work and take your journey in transforming one more company to achieve the kind of objectives it's looking at. You believe in the people who have been with you and who have actually taken these things along has been phenomenal. And more than that, I really thank you for contributing to this VYAPT growth story. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pankaj, and my thanks to all the audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.